Okay, Impact Wrestling. I gotta say this before I get started. I saw some of Raw. I saw all of SmackDown. And I saw all of this Impact. I want to say this. SmackDown did let me down a little bit. It was an okay show. But it wasn't great. Raw only had one thing going for it. And I know I heard people say, well, this has been a great show. This is a good show. I'm sorry it isn't. Because the main buzz is Finn Balor going up against Brock Lesnar. And the only thing people are caring about, the general thing about that match, is Finn going to be the demon. That's sad. Finn Balor is not my favorite wrestler. I'm sorry he isn't. But you know what? He should have been built properly. He may not have been the greatest competitor in the ring. He may be nothing but a runt. But if you don't have big stars to work with, you got to build the ones you got. That's how you got Bret Hart and HBK. I'm sorry, they're not big guys. They weren't big guys. They were midgets compared to the big wrestlers they had. And they built them properly. In this situation, Finn has not been built once. I'm not a big fan of Finn. I did, to a certain point, think the demon was pretty good. But like I said many years ago when it came to Finn, he wasn't going to get anywhere because the WWE wasn't going to do nothing with him when he went into the main roster. And look, now that they have no choice, remember, this is not because they like it, it's because they have no choice but to push him. It looks bad. The only thing people are wondering, is he going to be the demon at Royal Rumble? Not because Finn is great. He has a great character. He has a great look with those smiling teeth, which I don't have with my teeth being knocked out of place because of my... I'm going to have filling... Not fillings. I'm going to have teeth extraction. Sooner or later, you guys are going to know that I might not be able to talk for a little bit. It's coming this year. I have to finally get someone to help me to do it because I'm so freaked out about it. Finn got great teeth. I commend him. But that's not enough. So, that's all they got for Raw. I look on this Impact, and I know I dragged this out a little bit. I'm sorry. I got more content. Let's go through this. KM versus Connery? Whoa. Caleb Connery. If I'm even pronouncing his name right. I hadn't seen him in so long. I'm hoping I pronounced his name right. It's been so long. Now, the only reason these guys were out there was for Cage to destroy them. Because you have Fallah Bahh, you have KM and Connery out there. And he not only destroyed the people in the back, he destroyed them in the ring. And he's demanding his rematch. And he is angry. Not only does he want his rematch because he believes Johnny is ducking him, but then Johnny is giving I really want to see Killer Kross and Moose in a title picture for tag teams. I don't want to see them here. I'm sorry. They've done what they need to do. That's just me. I'm sure there's still some mileage with them, but for me personally, I want to see LAX go against monsters. They're not doing it with OVE, and they're not doing it with the Lucha House, I'm about to say Lucha House Party, the Lucha Brothers. Now, once you see the situation unfold, you got Johnny coming out, you got, well, once Killer Kross and Moose destroy them both, Cage says, I want a match with Moose. And that's what you get. That's at the, that's the second match of the night, was it? No, that was like 3 matches before the last match of the night. Really, it wasn't very interesting at first. It kind of built up a little bit in the middle, but it really got better in the end. And you got Cage winning. I think it's due to the fact not because Cage can't work with Moose. I've seen them work before together. They're not bad together. I just don't think that day was really great wrestling between the two. Because Moose can work. He can do a good job. And I've seen Cage do good work in the ring. But today, it just didn't seem to flow very well. Not until the very end. I'm alright with that. Now, let's make this very quick. No. Let's make this very quick. When it came to the Global Wrestling Network video they showed of Full Metal Mayhem, the only reason I'm bringing it up was because they showed CM Punk working with Raven and somebody else. I don't remember who. But essentially, we finally got to see CM Punk for the first time in years shown in any capacity on their show, which I'm kind of surprised they haven't done that more often. I'm actually quite surprised. They're doing these Global Wrestling Network little snippets that's going almost 10 minutes of the show or 15 minutes of the show, which I'd rather see it shortened. They really handcuff themselves when they show too much on the Global Wrestling Network. But I understand they really are trying to promote it because they're trying to make revenue. I understand. But why not show CM Punk more? Why don't you show more matches of CM Punk? I know he was there long enough to get a good amount of content. So seeing this is the first time we've seen him since they've been doing the Global Wrestling Network is actually quite good. And I hope they do more of it. Now, you got Eli Drake, who was on commentary with Ethan Page versus Eddie Edwards. Now, the match itself was not the question here. Was not good, it wasn't bad, it wasn't the point. The point was the segment of Eli working with Eddie after it was over. Eddie lost the match because he got Kenny out and whacked Ethan in the back. What Eli was saying was, you are lost, my friend. We even went up against, well, he said you were a multi-time tag champ. Me and you actually went after the title together. We actually faced one another. And look at you now doing nothing. You need to go back to who you once were because you're nothing but a joke. You actually want to be the next hardcore legend to have a gut like Tommy Dreamer? Keep it up. As far as I'm concerned, be what you are. But if you want to capture that thing again, you want to be like me. He didn't say this. But if you want to be like me, the last of the dying breed, this is what I'm saying. You need to stop. I'm interested in seeing how far they're going to go with this. Because I expected them just to have this stupid hardcore match. I didn't expect that Eli would try and convince Eddie to try and go back to the way he was. Now, of course, there's a very good chance that Eddie's not going to change. And this is just setting up them having the next feud with them in it. I'll be alright with it. But it's got to lead to something. A title. This has got to lead to a title. Because if it's not going to lead to a title eventually, it's going to fall somewhere. Now, I'm not saying to bring back the world champ... Well, the, what did they call it? The, I forgot the name of it. The Grand Championship. The Impact Grand Championship. I'm not saying to bring it back. But the World Championship should be used. Hell, you can even use the X Division. I don't care. But they need a title. Unless they're going to do the hardcore title again. Which I don't think is the wisest thing to do. Because that's a very niche title. Now, let's move on. Let's see here. Trey, Miguel versus Rich Swann. It was the second best match of the night. It was a good match. I don't know who Rich Swann is going after. The thing for me is this. I don't know who's going after Rich Swann in when they go to Mexico. As far as I know, there isn't anybody yet. Maybe when we see the tapings there, we'll know who his next feud is going to be. Will it be with Willie Mack? Because of the problems he's having with OVE, which I'll get to in a minute. But it was a good match. There was a point where they were just doing rolls and trying to pin one another. They were doing rolls. I actually enjoyed that. That was some old school kind of stuff. They didn't need to do a lot of aerial. Sometimes psychology really helps to make it interesting. I enjoyed that. After the match was over, Rick was in the ring. He won it. You got OVE coming out. And in the end, OVE was still trying to entice him. No Willie Mack this time, but OVE is trying to entice him to come to them, to come back. I really wonder how far they're going to go with this. Because this, I have to say this. This is the first time I've seen in a long while. We had a real X Division storyline. A real one. Something that's different or interesting. I don't remember the last time we had a very well-crafted story for the X Division. We had partial stories. We had stupid stories. We had stories that would just be dropped. So this is the first time in a while I've seen this. The question is how far they're going to go. I'm very curious. Now, Allie versus... Let's be simple here. Jordynne Grace is a beast. Jordynne Grace is a freaking beastest. Or female beast. I ain't calling her a bitch. She's a female beast. She's a monster in the ring. That woman, I think she's 24 years old this year. Why do I have to be so old? She's a good looking girl. She's muscled beyond recognition. She could probably lift me and 10 other guys. And she was throwing around Allie like she was a toy. In the end, Jordynne Grace won that match. But it wasn't about her. I knew it wasn't going to be about her. I knew when I saw Su Yung come out, this had to have Rosemary in it. And in the end, Rosemary came out. Well, let me back up a little bit. Su Yung goes in the ring after the match is over when Rosemary got not pile drive, but dropped on her head. You can see the look. It's in my face. But in the end, the lights go out once Su Yung is in the ring and Rosemary comes in. And once Rosemary comes in, she puts her hand out, giving him one last chance to join the shadows. And you see the little running away Allie jump out of the ring. The question is going to be, when is Allie going to be evil? She's acting like a timid little girl. I would expect Su Yung to really force her. This is the reason why I wanted this to be built up properly. Because it doesn't feel like it's being built properly. This is what she should be acting as a undead bridesmaid, not Allie, Dark Allie. This is a bridesmaid thing where she should have came out as a undead bridesmaid, showing some type of indecisiveness, showing that she has to slowly be built up by Su Yung and totally controlled. And Su Yung is no longer acting like she's controlling her. So this doesn't feel right. This is supposed to be about Allie choosing to follow the light side, which is the shadows, or the true dark side, which is Su Yung. And I'm not feeling it because Su Yung is not showing any influence. Allie should be not acting scared when she sees Rosemary. She should be turning to Su Yung and truly showing how controlled and dominated she is. That's why I wanted Allie to be an undead bridesmaid, so she would build up into it, so when she went to homecoming, she dressed like she is now. She's already totally controlled because there's nothing there. And this is where I feel like it's going to drop on its face because there's no proper build. There's no Allie being controlled by Su Yung bit. It's just Allie acting like Allie, who is still botching the ring. Now, let's see, am I forgetting anything? Oh, Taya did a video segment. And I'm using this picture because the other one, yeah, it wasn't too bad. But I believe Taya looks better in this and her cleavage is nice. In the end, we're going to see her going to Mexico. They've been keeping her out of the limelight until Mexico. Probably because of what's going to happen at the end of this review about what happened with Tessa. I will be getting to her in a minute. But in the end, this is what we got. She said she wants to get her hands and get across. But eventually he's going to get his. She's going to Mexico. She will get what she wants in Mexico. That'll be it. Let's drop it. Scarlett Bordeaux showing practically her entire chest. The only thing you didn't see was her ovaries, her nipples. She made her decision who's she going to push. And I wasn't sure who was going to push. I thought maybe she would work with Eli. I think, look, she is an incredible talker. She has the appeal. When it comes down to it right now, I just don't believe it's good for her to wrestle. I'm not saying she can't wrestle. I believe Andre is the one that said she can actually wrestle. And I have no problem with her wrestling. But I think for this year, she should push somebody. If it wasn't going to be Cam and Falaba, she was just making a buzz. She should have actually pushed somebody. And it should have been Eli. I think Eli would be the best person for her to be pushing. because he has the charisma. Having a woman by his side will make it really good. And you could do something with Alyssa dealing with Eddie. That's what I think would be good for her. But now she's pushing herself. Now, I'm not 100% against it, but since she's been so influential, I just think they're going to lose so much when she goes into the ring. That's just me. And that she's in my face. You can see how deep that shirt was open to see her chest. It doesn't matter how big her breasts are. Kind of like with Taya Valkyrie. Both of them are probably small-chested, but it's always been about presenting yourself, showing confidence, showing your sexuality, showing your femininity. You do not need to show every bit of your body to show how beautiful and sexy you are. She's classy. And I like that. Anyone else will probably think no, but me, that's just it. Anyway, OVE versus LAX. Now, here's the thing. Best match of the night. No problem. It was the best match. Tag team wrestling is still one of the best things I do enjoy. Yes, it did do a lot of high flying. It was a lot of smash mouth. There was some psychology, but it was still a great match. In the end, OVE got its ass handed to it. But here's the thing. I knew they were going to go back to the Lucha Brothers. And what happened with Ortiz, once they saw the Lucha Brothers, the Lucha Brothers coming out to show respect, Ortiz says, you know what? Everything is good. Everything's cool. Everything's great. You know what? Why don't you come back again? Let us kick your ass again. And then Cornette said, what are you doing? And it cut to that. I knew they were going to go there. I kind of wish they had just done it at Homecoming. The question is going to be this. Will they finally pull the trigger and make it so that Conan has to choose between the Lucha Brothers and LAX? I actually would be interested in seeing him choose between the two instead of him walking away from it, because that's the best option. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Finally, the thing you want to hear. Taya snapped. No, sorry, not Taya. Tessa snapped. Suspended. I'm just going to say Tessa suspended. When the match with Allie was over, because it was an Allie match, you then see Tessa, angry beyond recognition, talking to Mackenzie, saying that why is not right. I don't give a damn about anybody. I am angry. You want to start something with me? When she started choking out one of the technicians or one of the people in the back, then elbowed one of the guys, then Gail Kim came in, tried to stop her, she knocked her down and started choking her out. I'm going, yes. This is how someone who's a second generation who feels entitled is supposed to act. She believes she's the best. She also believes she's entitled. That's the truth. That's how her character is working, and it's actually not something I was really feeling comfortable about. Because, you know what? It didn't feel like it was complete. This was the reason why I was feeling awkward about it. Because she wasn't really showing the entitlement in Rage. I'm still not a huge Tessa fan. No, not Tessa. Yeah, why am I saying Tessa and Ty? I'm getting confused. I guess I'm tired. Haven't slept yet. I really wasn't a big Tessa fan. I'm still not a big Tessa fan. But I can appreciate when someone does their job right. Tessa did it right. She beat up everybody. And in the end, she got her ass suspended. When she was showing her rage, she was showing the rage of someone who feels like they're entitled. Who the hell does this woman think she is in this situation? Because she got in her way. I am Tessa Blanchard. I am the best. I'm a second generation star, even though she didn't say it. Well, third generation. I am the newest and the best. She didn't say any of that. But she didn't need to. Her actions spoke louder than her words. Because she believed that this is hers. And this was well done. In fact, if you compare this to Charlotte Flair years ago, when she felt entitled and she kicked her dad to the curb, you want to be honest? If you compare Tessa's work here compared to Charlotte's work in WWE, this was, even with the lower grade production value, even though it looked janky sometimes, and the camera angles weren't done right, that's part of the production value, it was still better done than Charlotte was. Charlotte is still not that good. But this was a great segment which pushed it over the top for me. You can watch this show and enjoy it. It isn't perfect, but it's good. I hope you enjoyed this Zane. Well, I'm about to say Zane. I don't do that anymore. I hope you enjoyed this Impact. Have a good day. Have a